Happy Halloween, everybody. Connor Stallions here from GoldandBlack.com. Just got done watching Purdue football practice from the rooftop of a fraternity house. I got a pretty good idea of what Purdue's going to do this weekend. No, in all seriousness, Brian Neubert here from GoldandBlack.com. Here in the arena. Again, I've been living here for about 3 weeks. Nobody's noticed. It's your GoldandBlack.com Purdue Basketball Daily that I almost forgot about today, but remembered just in the nick of time. Guys, I'm running out of stuff here, okay? But tomorrow night, Purdue hosts Grace College for Purdue's second and last exhibition game, fresh off the exhibition charity game at Arkansas. And topic that kind of comes to mind here from the Arkansas scrimmage is just the concept of consistency shooting the basketball. Obviously, anyone would have, made much this offseason about the need for Purdue to improve as an outside shooting team after, shooting 32% last season, and it being really the reason that Purdue's season ended the way it did. Purdue has to be better this year. A lot goes into that. It's about obviously making the shots. It's about taking the right shots. It's about some of these lineups working, things like that. But I think, the rest of the season, when I kind of talk about consistency, I want to kind of frame that a little bit with the point that consistency isn't necessarily shooting, 35 to 40% every game. It's avoiding long dry spells. At Arkansas, Purdue had a stretch there where they missed 13 in a row between the three-pointers, obviously. They missed 13 in a row, bracketing the end of the first half and the start of the second. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, too. We talk about consistency. Would you rather make 2 out of every 5, or would you rather... Hold on, I got to do math in my head, so this could take a while. Would you rather just make 2 out of every 5, or would you rather have to make up a bad first half with a pretty good second half? Or would you rather have to have a good first half but then endure that dry spell in the second half that balances out the numbers to the percentage you want? The obvious answer is I think you'd rather make 2 out of 5 over the course of a whole game, because I think that what you want to do is you want to avoid runs. You want to avoid allowing teams to go on runs. And, that's kind of what happened there at Arkansas. Was while Purdue had gone cold from 3, that's when Arkansas, kind of moved ahead a little bit and built a little bit of cushion. And that's ultimately what Purdue needed to fight its way out of. And it might have been different had Purdue just balanced out its shooting a little bit more. At the end of the day, I can't remember what Purdue was. I don't have a printed box score, but it wasn't a great percentage. But it was a deal where the second half was way better than the first half. And you just had 2 average halves instead of 1 bad one and 1 better one. I think balancing that out would have potentially changed the outcome of the game. I think Purdue has to get in a little bit of a rhythm here in terms of playing some of these lineups together, figuring out where their shots are going to come from. I think a big part of it is the Trey Kaufman-Wren and Ross-Ade lineups and how they stretch the floor. But also I think a big part of it too is some of the secondary guys. You're going to run stuff to get Braden Smith threes. You're going to run stuff to get Fletcher Lawyer threes. The 4 men, you're going to ask a certain amount of aggressiveness from them, looking for open threes. But also there's that other bucket of guys, and I'm going to put these guys in that bucket. And it's not a real bucket. It's a figurative bucket. So don't think I'm running around here kidnapping Purdue players and putting them in buckets. It's Ethan Morton, it's Lance Jones, it's Miles Colvin, it's Camden Heide, and Brian Waddell. To the extent with which those guys are out there, those are the guys that are going to be on that backside more often than not. When there's help on Edey and the ball gets moving, chances are one of those guys is the person that the defense is helping off of in order to dedicate extra attention to Ross-Ade, and it's those guys that are not only going to have to make open shots, but they're going to have to, take the right shots. And it's my personal opinion that, every time Purdue has an open three in that regard, does the ball need to go up? I guess it depends on the outcomes. Prior to that, it depends on the percentages. It depends on rhythm. It depends on a lot of different things. But from a volume perspective, I don't know if Purdue needs to be shooting 12, open threes or whatever, just because the defense is allowing 12 open threes. I think Purdue, with some of the weapons they'll have on the floor, can keep the ball moving around, get defenses in scramble mode, and be just as effective, if not more so, than shooting the open three every time they have it. And now, that being said, if these guys all show they're going to be consistent and they're going to shoot a good percentage, by all means, let it fly. But I think if not, some of those guys have to understand that passing the ball is okay in that situation too. Because if they're scrambling out to you, chances are they're scrambling out to other people too, and that next pass might lead to a pretty big play. So that's kind of what I got. I hope that was coherent. I hope that made any sense. But I just wanted to frame the concept of consistency and whatnot as we talk about three-point shooting all season long, probably as much as we'll talk about the refs, which I'm already bracing myself for. So thanks a lot, everybody. Go to GoldandBlack.com. We will have full coverage of the Grace College game tomorrow night from this very spot right here. And we will talk to you later. Bye.